I truly believe if you want to heal, part of that is changing your diet. You have to do your part. I actually had two different doctors recommend the same thing to me, the Mediterranean diet. One was my primary care doctor back in Texas, and the other was my rheumatologist, also back in Texas. Even a cardiologist I saw agreed that it would be a good direction. The reason they recommend it because it's low in sodium. Now I did try the Mediterranean diet, but I'll be honest, it was hard for me to stick to it. Where I was living at the time, I couldn't find the ingredients I needed, so it I didn't continue with it long term. So instead, I started doing my own research. I told you I'm a researcher. At first, I didn't see a lot of information. Honestly, the main person I saw talking about when I researched Sjogren's, was Venus Williams. From there, I started reading comments, watching videos, and just learning from different people's experiences. One thing I kept hearing over and over again from doctors and from my research was inflammation. So I asked myself, what foods actually reduce inflammation? And if you know me, I've always been a little picky with food anyway, so I knew I had to make some real changes. But I was willing to do it because I believe this. I can't ask God to heal me and do not do anything on my end. I pray often, heal me, O Lord. Heal me, O Lord, and I will be healed. Save me, I'll be saved, for you are my praise. But I also believe that faith without works is dead. So I said, God, show me what to do. And I started making changes. And this is what I changed. The first thing I did was cut out fast food completely. Now, I'll be real. When I lived in Dallas, I loved a place called Salad and Go, which is mainly just salad and wraps. But where I live now, I don't have that option. And that was my to-go to, trying to get healthy at first. So I had to adjust. I also cut out fried foods and stopped eating red meat because I learned that those can cause inflammation. Instead, I focused on eating chicken, fish, turkey. I also do more fruits, more fresh fruits and vegetables. And I also do gluten free. And I also when I'm cooking, use a lot of herbs and spices, or also include chicken or a vegetable broth when I cook. I even had a season when I ate mostly fruits and vegetables for like a couple of months, just trying to reset and figure out what worked for my body. At the end of the day, my diet is anti inflammatory. That's what works for me. I started cooking more at home, doing simple one pan meals. I use avocado oil instead of vegetable oil. I still use olive oil though, once in a while, but mostly avocado oil. I also, what's good for me was paying attention to labels and ingredients. If I can afford organic, I'll buy organic. But if I can't, I'll still choose the best options that I can. Because for me, it came down to this. I'd rather invest in my health now than keep paying for doctor's visits later. And them doctor's visits are expensive. I really started looking at food as part of my healing. Not the only answer, but part of it. And I did start to notice changes. I felt better. I felt more hydrated. Even my dry mouth symptoms started to improve, especially with eating cold fruits in the morning. It wasn't overnight, and I'm not saying I'm fully healed, but I do feel a difference. Now, I'm not perfect, and if I'm traveling, I might grab something real quick, like stop at a fast food restaurant, but I don't travel much anymore. but I try to make better choices like grilled options. I also use more glass containers when I can. Try more natural products. Pay attention to what I put in and on my body, because what you put in your body matters. It really does. So, my encouragement to you is this: make food part of your healing. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to happen overnight. Just start making better choices, one step at a time, because you can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. My dad says that, he says that a lot, especially when I was younger, a teen. And if you have Sjögren's, I love to hear from you. What changes have you made in your diet that have helped you?